Hey, what's happening, babies? Good morning to you, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is where you are in the world. Here it's still morning. Today is, what are we today? The 22nd? 9:43 a.m. 22nd of August, Tuesday. Gorgeous morning. How can I not do a walking video? I've been doing a slew of them lately. Been feeling good. Pericarditis is long on. That's not just thanks to resting all the time, or a lot of times, but also because, as you know, I quit smoking the herbs more than 2 months ago, and I just got this idea there, just like last second idea. Do a walking video right here off of Ontario Street, the Rue Ontario, because I remember coming through here, I think last winter, because I was filming a snow removal operation here. There's a couple of these streets around here. They're streets, but they look like alleyways. And I've seen a few of these also in the Plateau, Montreal'S district, which is up there. You can see there it's garbage day. I don't know why we do these videos, I state the obvious, you know. But yeah, just whatever, I don't know. Where am I going to film this to? I don't know. Yeah, it definitely smells like garbage day, that's for sure. Global neon. Oh, yeah. That's interesting. I love neons. You know, in the old days, if you were really young, in the old days, everything was neon. There were neon signs all over the place in Montreal, in Vancouver, anywhere. But I don't know, people got offended by neon. They thought they were too distracting. And not only that, neon lights, as beautiful as they are, they're expensive to fix because it's basically a gas, that passes through these, you know, tubes. So I don't think I've ever walked back here before, but it's interesting because most of this is a little kind of disappointing for yours truly. I'm not retro old school for nothing, because this is all like modernized. This is all like friggin' condos and more condos and more condos. So anyway, we're walking north right now, northwest. Look at this. What the hell is this? Why are all these cars parked like this? Where am I, downtown? Oh, actually, speaking of which, this is actually the Ville-Marie borough. So I live in Hochelaga, right, the last 10 years. Which is that way, which is east of here. This is weird. I can't imagine what a complete opposite this must have looked like years ago. I'm sure it must have been a total shithole. You know, but it's funny, I don't know. That's where I get mixed emotions. But look, they're still building condos here. I'm sure it's not low-cost housing, right? That would be ideal. I see in the news today that apparently these developers here in Montreal, they would rather get fines for building condos. Instead, they're supposed to be building low-cost housing. They would rather get fines. What the hell do they care? They're making billions of dollars. What do they give a shit if they get a fine for a few $1,000s? What do they care? You know? Sure, I'm not saying they don't look bad. They just look boring. It's just typical. Nothing's detailed anymore, you know? It's just, you look at this oldie over here. All these buildings over here, they're built like mine, probably. Even my building compared to these are boring. It's just, mine was all, the facade was all redone, God knows when. And they got beautiful details there. The roof structures and the bricks. And you know, the old school is a big deal, by the way, when I remember reading that a lot of times when old buildings like this are demolished, they'll even keep the bricks and sell them so that whatever construction company or whatever persons are building, whatever house, they'll actually reuse the bricks. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's like basically how many four-door sedans that I left in the past. You know, these big Buick LeSabres and stuff and Caprices. All these four-door cars, they were crushed. They were because the engines were sold out of them for muscle cars. You know, big 350 V8s and 327s and 454s and all that stuff. So that's the way it is, man. It's except that bricks are one thing. That's definitely repurposing. But as for the classic car thing, that's something I don't want to talk about really. Anyway, now we're walking towards Rue Sherbrooke. Look at this. Hey, what are these flowers called? They're beautiful. Mixed in with the trash. I think that about symbolizes Montreal very well. Beauty and trash all in one. Unless, of course, you're in the West Island and certain parts of the East End, which are nice, right? So I discovered something interesting and annoying, really stupid about this camera. This Nikon A1000 makes fine pictures, but you know that thumping noise you've been hearing in my in some of my videos, you know, kind of a thing. It's, you know what it is? I did a test at home. It's if I hold the camera with just my right hand, that's when it makes that sound. You believe that shit? Can you believe that? Anyway, taking it nice and slow. There you go. There's your quintessential turn of the century French architecture. Beautiful. Beautiful, but also, look at this. Actually, this building looks really, really original, except the bricks were redone. I remember there was a building that looked like that in Point St. Charles last year. They, I think the city evacuated people from there because it had showed signs of maybe collapsing, but you know, it never did, eh? So, gee, what a terrific time I chose to do this walking video, right? Like a beautiful, gorgeous morning. But there's garbage everywhere. And of course, being the weirdo that I am, I was actually hoping to find some trash collecting there, because ever since I was a kid, I'm always fascinated with stuff like that. Trucks that do things, you know, garbage trucks, cranes, snowblowers. Well, snowblowers, i.e., of course, the older ones that are built on a truck chassis. I'm not talking about the tractors go along with it, but not as much. So, and whatever else I'm not thinking of, snow plows and... Ooh, boy, it's really steep here, though. Jesus, I don't even know what the hell street this is, actually. Putain. I think it's Drolet or something. Or Dorion, or... I don't know, we'll find out. You know, I'm actually glad I'm doing this too, because I remembered it was also an early morning once. I was out here in the Plateau, just north of Sherbrooke. That's where the Plateau Montreal district starts and ends. And I walked around a lot, and I should have been filming, and I wasn't. I don't know. I just sometimes I'm stupid like that. I just don't feel like it, but I should actually kick myself in the ass and do it, because, you know, not so much really for you know, for financial reasons, but just again for your enjoyment, for the enjoyment of you guys who you know, you're a fellow Montrealer like me, born and raised, or you come from here, or you, I don't know, whatever, your parents are from here, your uncle, your aunt is from here, blah blah blah, you know. Ah, crap. I was just at Fire Station 19 there for a while. I went there also to see if I get their old ladder responding. I think it's a 2004 E1, but of course it's under maintenance. I could see the service truck there. Oh well, too bad. Too bad, so sad. Can I actually, maybe it's up there in Sherbrooke, I could catch it. Maybe? What's that? A Mayada. I've got a few ads for these, maybe 3-4 of them. Of course, I probably can't sell them because these guys in this community, the Japanese car community, they're of German, you know, Volkswagens, all that. A lot of these guys, they know each other and they don't like me, so whatever, too bad. There's plenty of people out there in the rest of Canada who likes this stuff. Oh, yes, I love it. I love it. Look at this. We happen to stop here at Sherbrooke, where this fantastic building is. I love this building, this old antique building. Look at this with the red accents on the framework here and the windows. Look at this, it's beautiful. I love that. Just love that. Look at that. Is that a coincidence? I passed here 2-3 times and there's 2 red cars parked there. You know, it's too bright. I hate the light compensation on this thing. I'm gonna have to fix that. It's amazing. It's amazing. Well, I think I'm gonna stop here a few minutes, see if I can film a few trucks. Rue Sherbrooke, one of the longest running streets in the city. Looking this way, looking east, and there's west. Or I should say west, southwest. Oh, there you go, it's Cartier. All right, I got the camera more in the setting that I wanted here. Just saw a nice old International, I think it was a 3800 or 4900, which is weird because I saw a white one yesterday. Yeah, oops. Now we're coming up to Sherbrooke and Papineau. Oh, there's a non-scrap there. Oh, look at that. Is that the 29 that I filmed earlier? It probably is. Yeah, 2006, dying breed. There's only a few of these left in service. unfortunately, because what can I tell you? This is the times we live in, right? People, we don't want to rebuild anyway. On veut rien rénover, nous autres, là. Ça prend trop de temps. That's a whole other subject. Anyway. So now we're approaching the very busy Papineau Boulevard here, or Rue Papineau Street. And what's weird about this street actually is that, as you can see, it's a one-way street heading south. But when you get past a certain point north of there, it's actually a two-way street. So I think it has something to do with the Jacques Cartier bridge configuration, which is down there somewhere. So yeah. So I think I'm going to head up north here. I like this company's trucks, even though I'm not a big fan of this company, because they sold their recycling to foreign countries for like $1 million. I wasn't too happy to hear about that. You know? This stuff's supposed to be recycled, not sold off somewhere. But that's money for you. Eh? The mean green. Eh? Man, I gotta be careful there. I just passed some sort of Latino music that's coming from some basement over here. When it comes to YouTubing, and that's one of the annoying things about YouTubing today, the slightest music, man, boom, copyright infringement. You know what I mean? And then your video is muted and all this bullshit, you know? Then you got to go back and edit that out. Ah, it's a bunch of garbage. Bunch of malarkey. I'm in good shape though. I walked all the way from my place actually. And I'm already here, so now, lest I forget, beautiful. If you ever hear Montreal, this is a really great place to be in. This is Parc La Fontaine. And Parc La Fontaine, there's tennis courts and there's an beautiful artificial lake. It's actually been there for decades. That in itself is vintage. And it's kind of like a bit of a sort of rolling hills, a lot of trees, and just fantastic, you know. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking a bit through the trash here and there. I've seen a few things over the years near my place that were in the trash, especially metal type old objects that I resold, because you know, you compare metal to plastic. Plastic is crap. It's almost worthless, you know. I mean, even for example, I have at home this old, this vintage CTCUM sign that was actually in the bus. They used to put them in the lights, an ad for CTCUM, and it's like, you know, 50 years old. But you know, to me, like, you know, whatever, I put it for sale for $50, and at this point, I'm like, it's not selling. I might as well just keep it. Whatever, you know. Now I'm not hurting financially. I'm okay. And so, you know, whatever. It's made of plastic. You know, if it's made of metal, it's worth more. Look at that, the old scooters. Boy, listen how annoying that is. Oh man. Look at this. A typical 50s, 60s type of style construction, right? Everything all curvy there. I feel like that song by Simon and Garfunkel, and I don't know where I'm going, and I'm on my way. Grato mono esti. You have to be Quebecois to know that, what I'm talking about. That's a very, that's from a classic Quebecois film called Elvis Graton. It was about a guy, and he's a huge fan of Elvis, and it's called Elvis Graton, but his name is Bob. So, well, Robert, how about Bob? You know, I don't know how long I'm going to film this for. So if you ever saw a walk-in video I did maybe about a month ago, it was right through here in this park, Parc La Fontaine. Like I'm saying, am I still recording here? I sometimes have a tendency to get lost in my own thoughts and words. I'm not even watching where the hell I'm, not even watching what the hell I'm not watching the viewfinder, I mean. So, oh, there's another sound I can't stand listening to anymore in my area, right outside my window. My own place is those stupid electric sanders. Listen to that just like all day. Tell me how fun that is, eh? Holy mackerel! Look, there's another Mayada, most common collector car you can imagine. I think probably in this part of the world anyway. God, it's just smelled like garbage everywhere. This is not actually very pleasing. I feel like crossing actually here. It's just very annoying now. It's just horrible. Ugh. Ugh. Probably should switch to the Samsung too to save on a battery as well, come to think of it. Or maybe I could also veer off if I wanted to, eh? Could veer off right here. Maybe I'll do that. It gets kind of annoying. I have to say, yeah, let's do that actually. Let's do that. Turn here off Gautier on Gautier. Oh, mind you, the wind's coming this way a bit, eh? I have to go with the wind. I have to go with. Actually, you know what we're gonna do? I think. Yeah, I think we'll go. Yeah, let's cross here. Why not? Change it up a little bit. Oh, God, the smell of garbage is terrible. Let's go right here in Parc La Fontaine. Why not? Change it up a little bit. Eh? Why not? We'll finish this way, actually. Finish it this way. Cause me and Julio down by the schoolyard. Well, I'm on my way. I don't know where I'm going. Me and Julio down by the schoolyard. Oh, I almost forgot to mention. Hey, listen. Don't forget. Find me, Elton McFall. MCFALL. Retros on Patreon or Patron. Become a patron. Chip in $1, $10, whatever, $20 a month if you can. Be much appreciated. Now my shirt's falling off my jeans here. Because again, if you ever see my place, I'm not a rich man. Look at this, I got a bloody crack in my shoes. My pair of shoes, Airwalks I bought from Walmart. I didn't keep the bill. You see that? Terrible. I'm gonna stop this a second. Yippers, I have switched to a Z phone. There's this Samsung. Yeah, what I wanted to say earlier is that as much as I love obsessively filming vehicles, you know, day after day, and you know, the more the weather's nicer, the more I'm going to be out there, the more I'm inclined I am. But I got to tell you, I don't know, lately it's getting to me a little bit, the being on these boulevards and highways and the constant noise and just motion. It's you know, it's, I don't know, it just gets to be a little bit too much. So that's one, I guess that's one reason why I decided to step away here in this park for a moment. And I think, unfortunately, as much as like some of my most popular videos are the emergency vehicles responding videos, that's why, unfortunately, that's one of the reasons why I've also become drawn to always be on the main streets and the highways, because you're not going to see that stuff on side streets, rarely ever. It's just, you know, common sense. So anyway, yeah, I'm not going to stay here on Rachel. Speaking of side streets, I'm going to stay on here, whatever street this is, I think. I don't remember what it is. Yeah, vintage. Well, they look vintage, eh? Those lampposts? Those, what do you call them? Yeah, they look as old as the hills, eh? The fixtures, light fixtures. And this here is the very, very busy Rue Rachel, and it never ceases to amaze me, this part of town, the Plateau Montreal, how, oh, it's Émilie Duplessis. No, Émile Duployer. Duployer. Oh, that's quite a name. Anyway, yeah, it's just, you know, like, as much as there's so much beautiful vintage architecture here in this part of town, there's murals. You know, it's a step up from Hochelaga, basically. But it's too busy. There's too many look at this. The bike path is actually closed here. I don't even know why. This is like the busiest bike path in the city. Probably more than the one on de Maisonneuve downtown. And it's crazy. There's too many cars, too many cyclists. There's too many people. I like coming here, but really I come here really more for to film again said emergency responses. So, you know, it's... oh, there's a Bixie truck right here. Bixie bikes. But it's funny because years ago, many years ago, you know, let's say 2007 and before I started YouTubing, because I started making YouTube videos. Look at that, beautiful. I started making YouTube videos like, I think the first one was, see, look at this. This looks like an alleyway, but it's a street. Amazing. Let's go down here. And it was like end of 2008. And before that, I went to this part of town a lot, along with a few others repeatedly, because I used to see a lot of old cars. And of course, a lot of them were just old cars. They weren't even classic cars, you know, like, oh, look, there's an RX-8. You know, like 70s cars, 80s, stuff like that. A lot of them are just long gone. Good looking cars. Too bad they have problems. Still, beautiful car. For a 2000s, I think it was one of the best. I don't even know what this is. I'm sure it's a street because it's got sidewalks. You know. Oh yeah, now we're back at Papineau, eh? Well, I don't want to drag this for too long. I'm getting a little tired. I want to go take a break somewhere. See, usually what I do is in the morning, you know, I get up, I have my coffee, I upload a video. Used to be 2 videos, now I upload a video at night. What is that coming in out of bad out of health? It's got a freaking Audi. What a surprise, eh? Vas-y, tabarnak. Don't talk to me about Audis. Yeah, user turn signal, good. So then, you know, I list some stuff for sale on Marketplace, and you know, and then I don't know, whatever. I'll work on other stuff. Then I'll work on a painting, and then I go out. You know, then I go out at night, or sorry, in the afternoon or late afternoon. Like right now, I'm working on a painting, which is it's kind of secret right now. It's for a friend of mine. So, scrap. Oh my God! I took one of these as an Arctic the other day on Côte des Neiges Road. Oh my God, what a nightmare! Literally from Sherbrooke, Côte des Neiges, all the way to Queen Mary. Absolutely, I couldn't even stand anymore. I had to get off before Queen Mary. Just absolutely horrible condition of the road. Horrible. You hear that? That's the sound of frickin' scrap. Joke. What was I talking about? What the hell was I talking about? I don't even remember now. What the hell am I doing here? Back with the noise and traffic and the movements. Anyway, so yeah, that's the thing. I'm back here now. I'm here in the morning because I knew it was going to be a beautiful morning. So I'm going to change it up. I'm going to go out in the morning, film some stuff, and go back home later, like probably early afternoon, something like that. Because now it's after 10 easily. You know, I've had my third coffee. I had a croissant. Didn't realize how expensive the bloody croissant is because I always get that with a coffee, but the coffee was free. It was $2.50 for a croissant. But luckily, I'm a loyal Tim Hortons customer, so you know I get a freaking free coffee a week. You know. So yeah, and I think I'm getting tired of. Wow, look at that, eh? Look at that. There's actually a mailbox there. Yeah, that's a great way to. Anyway, I think we're gonna stop here at the light. I'm, like I said, a little bit tired now. I'm gonna finish this somewhere. Just me and Julio down by the schoolyard, and I'm on my way. I don't know where I'm going. There's a city of Montreal truck behind me, and he's waiting for his orders to do some tree pruning or something like that. Trimming tree branches. Yeah. I could find a place to sit somewhere. Oh! Yeah, you know what? That reminds me. Why is it when I go to parts of the city east of here where there's a lot of Italians, there's a lot of places to sit. There are a lot of benches in the street to sit. You know why I think? Because Italians, they're like me, they complain a lot, and they've got a lot of chutzpah in the city. A lot of them work for the city. And that's what I think it comes down to, frankly, because I hate the fact that I go a lot of places I can't bloody sit anywhere. You know, this mayor we have, she's great at making the sidewalks larger, putting plants and grass and all this stuff. That's fine, you know, for some people, not for me. I like the essentials. Fix the roads, make the roads smoother, put benches, you know, stuff like that. Anyway, what are you going to do? It's the way it is. It is the way it is. Film day walk, you shouldn't be on the street, buddy. You're a moron. God, people they think their cars with their scooters, whatever you want to call them, electric wheelchair or... De Courteville, another one that's a street, looks like kind of like an alley, eh? Yeah, we're gonna stop right here. I would love to be able to sit somewhere, but you can't. Look, see, I could sit there, but there's a guy sitting there. I don't want to sit next to anybody. Honestly, I'm weary of people today. Honestly, I mean, whatever. So that is about it. Oh yeah, Marianne, which always reminds me of the song "Carrie Ann" by the Hollies. Vintage. It looks vintage. It probably isn't though. So that's it, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Take care. Be good. Be well. Of course, there's always be walking videos coming, and you know, thanks for subscribing if you are, and I always appreciate your loyal comments and information. And you know, if you're going to be make some negative comments, you know, please be constructive, be nice about it. You know, really, I think there's enough negativity in the world today. I am the king of freaking negativity, which is really why one of the reasons why I quit smoking weed. So, and that's it, guys. Take care. Thanks again. Be good, and bye bye.